Hello, welcome to our next video today about authoring questions. Today we're going to move on from authoring multiple choice and matching to authoring fill in the blank and labeling type questions. There are some of the settings that are the same for every single question type through all of these videos that I've done. I went more in depth on the multiple choice and matching video on some of those settings. So if today I breeze through those a little bit faster and you need to go back and review those, please watch the multiple choice and matching video where I went a little bit more in depth to some of those settings that are the same for every question. All right, here we are again at our dashboard. So to start off, I'm going to go over to my menu and go to the item bank where all of the items are located. Again, it's just going to show me some that are maybe up on the last filter that I had set. But today I'm authoring a question, so I want to go up to the right and click New Item. So again, we've already done the multiple choice and the matching. So today we're going to focus on fill in the blanks. So there are a lot of different types here, and these are all kind of the same thing, different ways to fill in the blank. We're going to skip these. These are the labeling ones. I'll do those second, but these down here at the bottom are still kind of the same type of thing as the fill in the blanks here at the top, just a little bit different settings. So you've kind of got three options up here for fill in the blank and two down here, and then these ones in the middle are labeling. I personally like the text drop down fill in the blanks just because these are kind of similar to the matching things that we did, but it doesn't really matter whichever one you like. I'm going to do a text drop down just because I haven't authored a question like that yet for you. So today when I click it, there's already some stuff in the question box, and that hasn't happened yet. So far the question box has always been empty. So it says pick the right options in the drop down below, sample question with text. So this is them just helping you out. Here are the two drop down blanks that they have already inserted for you. So you've just kind of got to get rid of this wording here and type in your own question, like the sky is... and then leave it blank. And the grass is blank. So that's how you can write your question around that. Let's say that you want more of those drop-down boxes, like 2 is not enough for you. Over here, you can add some more. I just clicked it and there came a couple more boxes that I could write around it or do a couple in a row. I thought there was also some settings there, but there's not. So there's more tools here too with the math and the images and all of that stuff. You can click there to see some more that they just kind of hid because this box is taking up some space. So once you have your question ready to go with your blanks in there, down here is the choices that are going to show up in the blank. Now this is going to this is because we have a drop down. So when we click it, students are going to see a list of things that they could put in as their answer. So this is what things you want the kids to see. So I'm going to type in blue and green. And again, if you want more options, you would click add new choice and you could put as many on there as you want. Now for the second one, you can put the exact same words, or maybe you want to put different words and have nothing actually the same. I mean, it's up to you, whatever fits best for your question type and what your content is. I just copied them down so that they have the same choices on both of them. But you, again, could change those, add more, have less, whatever is up to you. Then you scroll down again, and here's where you click the correct answers. Again, you could change the point value here to like 2 because you technically have 2 blanks, or make it whatever point value you want. The sky is blue and the grass is, so I need to change this one to green. Again, you could shuffle the options so that they won't appear in the same order for every question. It's totally up to you. Down here in the scoring, here's the same scoring settings we see on every question. So again, I'm not going to go into these in detail, but I usually leave it as automatic scoring and exact match because this is pretty self-explanatory, and I don't really need a rubric for this or scoring instructions. Dynamic parameters, again, that's mainly for math, so find the math video for that one. The display, again, you could change the type of display, but I usually leave it the same. And you could add here an individual response box if you wanted to add, like a student could write something to you in it if you wanted, but I usually don't have that. Here again is places that you could write hints to students to show up on the test or explain to them why they got it right or wrong at the end of the test. So if you think your question is ready to go, you can go back to the preview mode and you can pretend to be a kid. The sky is blue, the grass is green. Let's see if the answers are correct. Oh, it says I did something wrong. I didn't set the answer right. So I can go back to edit mode, set the questions, and make sure that that was set properly. So here's the preview mode again. You could try it out, check the answer. You could even have it show you the answers. Blue, green, yeah, all that. Then you could go back here to metadata. Again, this is really important that you put in at least your standards so that you can get those reports on your standards and your DOK and all of that stuff as well. So when you're done, you push save if you just want to save it for a minute, or publish if you're ready to add it to your test. And that is fill in the blank. Pretty simple. So I'm going to go back and show you one that was maybe a little bit different type of fill in the blank. We can do this drag and drop because I like that too. It's helpful for kids. So this one, the answer choices would just show up at the bottom and the kids would drag them up into this area. So again, I would probably want more than one option, so I would want to drop some more areas in there or get rid of that one. So again, they added some instructions for you that you can just delete, and you say like the sky is blank and the grass is blank. Then again, you have the options down here that you will put in for your kids. Blue, green, maybe you want to add a distractor, red, I mean, whatever you want. You could add more choices, delete choices, all of that stuff. Down here is where you're going to set the correct answer, and this is how it would look. The kids would have these boxes, and they would drag it up here, and that's the correct answer. Again, duplicated response we talked about last time, it would leave the words down here so kids could put the sky is blue and the grass is blue. They could make them both blue. This showing drag is just so that the kids could see like where it was going. And again, shuffle options would just mix them up. Scoring, same as we talked about. Dynamic parameters, display, solution, all of that. That was the same as what we talked about before. So this time I'm going to go to preview mode and show it looks a little bit different, kind of like it did when we picked the right answer, but the kids would drag these up here. Just kind of a different way for them to do the same type of thing with fill in the blank. So just another option there for you. Okay, let's go back to another question type that was in this setting, and it was these labeling ones. I love this. Obviously, you can see they have given you examples with a map. I love this for people who are teaching geography. I've also had teachers who were teaching anatomy put a picture of a human on there, and they had to label the parts of the human. Or I've had ag teachers put up a picture of a machine, and they had to label the parts of the machine. So there's lots and lots of different ways that you could use these questions. So they're really, really cool. Again, they're all kind of the same concept, just with these types of selections. So this one would be the same as this. You would have kids that had boxes at the bottom, and they would drag those up to like the correct spots. The correct spots would already be sitting in there, and you could click it, and a list would drop down for them to click from. This, they would have to actually type it in. So whichever works best for you. I'm going to go ahead and just do this drag and drop here at the beginning. So here's my question. So this is when you would just say to the kids, like, label the map or the image or the machine or whatever it is they're labeling. That's pretty much what you would say. Then you're going to have to insert a picture. And now a lot of people try and insert the picture up here in the question, but you actually have to scroll down here to this gray box. This is like what the kids are going to see, and there's no picture for me to label. So that's when you would click like update image, and you would actually load an image onto your test, and that's what the kids would label. So you'd have to pick it out of your files to find what you want them to label. So I successfully got my image uploaded here into the workspace. So this is where you can drag this and maybe put it in the middle of the screen. You can pull at the corners to make it bigger, or you can adjust that up here. You can make it bigger with these buttons as well. You can see my image is getting larger. But again, I just like grabbing the corner and just making it bigger. It's a little bit faster to me. Anyway, you could change whether it had a color filled in it or there was little points on there. Lots of different things you could do to your map. And then these boxes are the boxes that students are going to put their answers in. So you would drag those maybe to the places that you wanted them. Maybe I want my kids to label. If you see I accidentally just clicked, if you need another box, you just randomly click on the picture and one shows up. If you want to get rid of one, you just click the delete. So I just kind of clicked one and it popped up there. So here maybe the towns that I want my students to label. So that's what they're going to see. Down here there's some more settings. They can show dashed border. I like to do that sometimes. It little sticks out for the students. You can see it, put a border around it so they kind of know where it's at. Transparent background, again, you can change if you care what color the background is, or wrap the text to fit the area. Sometimes if your words are really long, it maybe will stick out of the box or it'll cut off a word, so maybe you want to click that so that the text will stay in there. This was already checked, the snap fit to drop area. That means if a student kind of lets the thing go over here off to the side, it will snap it in the right box. I usually do that so the students know for sure, like, okay, I've got it in the box, instead of it just sticking off to the side and you're not really sure if that's where it was supposed to go or not. And that's why I do the show drop area border as well. If you wanted to get rid of those because you didn't want your student, you wanted your student to figure it out without you having the places there, then you would maybe want to get rid of those check marks. So then you would tell if they got it kind of in the right spot. The advantage to the show this stuff is that it's going to be easier for the computer to automatically grade it for you. Whereas if you don't have that stuff, the computer is going to have a harder time telling if the area is, or if the word is in the correct area, and it may have some difficulty grading it. So just kind of think about that when you're getting that ready to go. All right, down here, these are the things that my students are going to see and what they can label. So maybe I want to put Kansas City and Jefferson City and St. Louis, Springfield. Again, I could add other options to distract them. Down here, I can again change it to like 4 points because I have 4 blanks. And here's where I'm setting the correct answer. So I need to drag these into the appropriate spots so that the computer knows what the correct answer is. And see how I kind of put that Springfield off to the side here and it snaps it in. That's the whole setting about snapping it in. If you didn't have that clicked, it would just set it off here to kind of to the side. Again, duplicate response means that they'll stay there once the students do it. The dragging thing is just so they can see where it's going. You can shuffle the answers, transparent answers, so maybe they don't cover up the map. That'd be a good idea if you were labeling something and a bunch of them were close together and the words would cover up what you're trying to see. Maximum number of responses per container. Maybe they had to put 2 options in here, like Springfield and the county, or Jeff City and the word capital. So you could do that they could put more than 1 word in each box. That's possible as well. All right, annotations would be them writing on the picture. Again, the scoring settings are the same as always: dynamic parameters, display, and solution. Same as what we always have down here. So again, now you can go to preview mode and see what it looks like for your students. So the picture is kind of big. I kind of have to scroll around. So maybe I want to make this picture smaller because my students might not realize that there was choices here at the bottom. And my question is kind of really small. So maybe I want to make that a little bit bigger before I send it to my kids, because maybe they're not going to know what to do because they kind of just breeze past these words and see this huge image. So I might go back to edit mode and make that smaller. Don't forget to go over here to metadata and enter in your standards. Have fun making questions.